Coverage you can count on. This is Fox 2 News.
Protesters take their message to West County Shopping Center here in Des Peres. The impact they had.
Protesters have virtually taken over the Galleria, and with chants of shut it down, many stores have.
Good evening, I'm Ray Weigel.
And I'm Angie Mockin for Sandy Miller tonight.
First on Fox, Black Friday became Mike Brown Friday for some as protesters boycotted and demonstrated at malls all over the area today.
What it looked like inside West County Mall late this afternoon. Protesters marching through the mall, chanting. The group then moved outside, marching along Manchester Road between Ballas and 270, marching and disturbing traffic. Fox News' Betsy Bruce is live in Des Peres to begin our team coverage. Betsy.
Now, holiday shoppers here in Des Peres had a close-up encounter with the protesters who converged on West County Center here at Manchester Road and Interstate 270 about 3 o'clock. Now, it was a peaceful but noisy demonstration as about 150 to 200 individuals marched inside the mall, calling on customers to, quote, stop shopping. Participants say they intended to stop business as usual, so their message would be heard. Doors to the mall were locked for a period of time, but shoppers remained inside shopping. Now, these once outside, while the protesters briefly blocked traffic, they then returned to march around the mall building. The group spent some 90 minutes in the area before leaving. Shoppers gave me these reactions.
And all of a sudden we heard noise and we saw people running, and then we heard the protesters coming, and it really I really felt sorry for the people in the shops and the stores because they are going to close, and people lose their income.
I just think everybody should get along, you know what I'm saying? I don't take no sides with nothing. I just think we all God's people, you know what I mean? And we all need to learn how to stop, fighting all the time,
Now, 7 of the protesters describe themselves as professionals and owners of small businesses. They say they want to peacefully demonstrate to convince people that this nation does need to make some changes. They believe the system often does act unfairly toward people of color, particularly when it comes to encountering.
Earlier, protesters marched through the Galleria in Richmond Heights, forcing the mall to close for nearly 2 hours. Fox News' Chris Hayes was inside the mall as protesters made their point. He's live in Richmond Heights with the story. Chris?
It all started on Twitter with messages to meet at Shaw Park in Clayton at 11:30. Several dozen people arrived, watched by police. Then they got their instructions.
Head over to the mall and you'll figure out everything else that's going on.
Word spread. Just go and get inside the Galleria any way you can, through any entrance. It happened quickly.
Hands up! Don't shoot!
Signs came out. Then you could hear it across the mall. Protesters are on both floors, and as people walk by, stores are closing. Employees locked doors and gates as the crowd moved by, and they watched from inside. 2 women who appeared to be Macy's employees came out to lead one chant. Cheers erupted when Hellsbrook Diamonds closed.
We've been out here protesting. I think that it's a good job to stand up for our rights because everybody is backing down.
Police officers from several jurisdictions lined the walls, sometimes listening to angry screams directed their way. Police took the approach of calmly watching and protecting stores and people. After noon, the Galleria completely closed, only letting people out. This cell phone case salesman held out as long as he could.
I was started well, like 10, 11 was fine. After they start coming out, all the customers is scaring and they're leaving the malls. So basically, we're losing a lot of business. I think we're going to live in a minute, I think, if we stay like that.
The upper floor shook furiously as people jumped. Demonstrators dropped to the ground to symbolize people who've died, including a father with his young son on top of him.
I'm here from Atlanta visiting, and we've been watching it on CNN News. So just to see it firsthand here is really something to see. So we're going to stand and watch.
Lost in the background, small businessmen like Abdullah, who you heard from, who count on this day financially as one of their biggest of the year. The mall reopened within about 2 hours of closing. Live in Richmond Heights, Chris Hayes, Fox 2 News.
Well, Ferguson residents are ready to move forward, and county police took a step towards that by reopening West Florissant this afternoon. The barricades came down at 1 p.m. between Chambers and Lucas and Hunt. The road stayed open until 5 this evening and then closed again. West Florissant will close every night between 5 p.m. and 7 a.m. the next morning until further notice. And the city of Delwood is also recovering as that community was heavily damaged in Monday's rioting. Mayor Reggie Jones says 13 businesses there were burned and 5 more were looted, and that accounts for 10% of Delwood's business district. Jones blasted Governor Nixon, claiming he too was told the National Guard would be there to protect businesses, but the Guard didn't arrive until it was too late.
I am demanding answers as to why Missouri National Guard was not here to protect us when we had and been assured that they would be. I'm asking that Delwood not be forgotten when it comes to resources to help to recover with these businesses who are the fabric of our community.
Mayor Jones says he is asking for state and federal funds to help in the rebuilding process. Governor Nixon announced today that money is available to help businesses damaged Monday night. Nixon says $625,000 will be available in the form of zero-interest loans to businesses in need. It's called the Small Business Relief Program, funded by local banks, the St. Louis Regional Chamber, the Economic Development Partnership, and North County Incorporated. And if you need more information, our website has it, fox2now.com.
The NAACP says it will begin a 120-mile march from Ferguson to Jefferson City tomorrow. The group is calling it the Journey for Justice, Ferguson to Jefferson City. The 7-day march begins at the Canfield Green Apartments tomorrow and will end at the Governor's Mansion next week. Along the way, marchers will participate in teach-ins and rallies.